This is 10 Eyewitness News with Norelda Jacobs.
Hello and welcome. First, the state government has applied for a 3-year extension to its controversial shark catch and kill licence. Tamara Akers has been following the story and joins us live. Tamara, the government appears to be pushing ahead with its drumline policy despite a significant public backlash.
Norelda, that certainly seems to be the case. Now, the state government's current licence to catch and kill sharks more than 3 metres long runs out at the end of this month. After that, all the 70-plus baited drumlines off the coast of Perth and the southwest will have to be pulled out. Now, today an application was made to the federal government to have that licence extended. Essentially, the WA government wants to be able to use those baited drumlines from November 15 to the end of April for the next 3 years. Now, as we know, this policy hasn't actually managed to catch any great whites, which was the whole point of it. The state government says it needs a full summer to be able to measure how effective it will be, and essentially that will be up to the federal Environment Minister to decide whether that goes ahead. Now, one thing we do know for sure is that the policy is sure to remain controversial. Since it started in January, we've had thousands of people protesting against it, and even a legal bid to try to stop it. And as you'd expect, today the application was slammed by the Greens and the opposition.
Well, I hope the federal government knocks them back. This has not been a good policy. It hasn't worked, and there's far more effective things that can be done to keep people safe.
Now, today's application came as several beaches were closed after a 4-metre great white was spotted cruising close to shore. Fisheries officers dropped extra drum lines off the coast at Floreat, Swanbourne, Trigg and City Beach, but were unable to catch it. They've now moved their efforts to Fremantle, where we understand the surf club remains closed. Norelda.
Thanks, Tamara Akers, live there.
Tonight, a 4-metre great white shuts down Perth beaches and stirs new anger over drumlines.
This is 9 News Perth with Tim McMillan.
Welcome to 9 News. A 4-metre great white has shut down Perth beaches and sparked new anger over drumlines. The shark avoided 30 baited hooks and cruised within metres of popular beaches. Conservationists are claiming it as proof that drumlines don't work.
Dangerously close to our shores, the 4-metre great white tracks along the Perth coast. It swam straight past 30 baited hooks and at North Floreat came within 50 metres of the shore.
We saw the black fins above the water.
Beaches were immediately closed. Swimmers ordered from the water. Fisheries was quick to respond too, following the shark officers dropped baited hooks in its path, but the shark ignored them. Activists on the Sea Shepherd followed fisheries.
We're killing all those sharks right now. At the same time, we're increasing the risk of the beaches because of all the heightened activity from sharks thrashing around the end of lines, all the extra blood that's in the water.
Andy Corbet says the great white was simply not interested by the bait.
It knows there's bait there and it's probably not interested in that bait.
The shark was first spotted by the surf life-saving chopper at Trigg around 11 a.m. It then spent the day making its way south, passing baited hook after baited hook. At times it was just 50 metres offshore. By 4:30 this afternoon it was spotted north of Fremantle.
I was swimming and I listened to a siren. A shark, but I didn't see it.
Since mid-January, 72 sharks have been caught. Not one of them was a great white. Today, the state government proposed an extension of the controversial program. They want to set 72 drumlines off WA beaches for the next 3 years.
Well, I hope the federal government knocks them back. This has not been a good policy.
Simone Luca, 9 News.
And tonight, Fremantle Beach has just been reopened as the great white continues to track south. Tracy Vo, do shark experts know why this 4-metre monster is swimming so close to our shores?
Well, Tim, the great white was spotted within 50 metres of the beach at Floreat this afternoon as it made its way down the coast. Shark experts say that it's not often that these kinds of sharks are spotted so close to our beaches and for such a distance. They don't think that this animal was sick, but they think that it may have been chasing a large school of mullet that has been spotted swimming along our coast. I did speak to some rangers here on the ground at Leighton Beach about half an hour ago. They had left the beach. They said the shark hadn't been spotted since then, and all beaches have now been given the all clear, Tim.
All right, Tracy Bowe, thank you. Troubled swimming legend.
Is 7 News.
Tonight, the big shark that forced the closure of at least 4 Perth beaches.
From the studios of 7 Perth, Susanna Carr and Rick Arden.
Good evening. On the day the WA government sought a 3-year extension to its controversial shark cull, a 4-metre great white has closed several Perth beaches. The big shark drew the attention of fisheries and those opposed to the cull as it cruised beaches for hours. Kate Smithers reports.
10 metres off North Floreat Beach. A great white 4 metres long. For more than 6 hours, it moved along the coast. The Westpac helicopter first spotted it 200 metres off Trigg. It followed a school of fish in the area, then stalked beaches south all the way to Fremantle. Damien Agnew was walking his dogs in North Floreat.
I was just cruising along, like barely swimming at all, just slowly cruising along the beach.
Fisheries deemed the great white an imminent threat and dropped an extra 5 baited drum lines in the path of the shark, followed closely by a Sea Shepherd crew. This is called its rapid response to try to catch and kill sharks more than 3 metres long, less than a kilometre from shore.
As the shark was hunted, the state government confirmed it's applied it to its federal counterpart to extend the controversial shark kill program for 3 years.
I just don't think that every time a shark swims past Perth, we can scramble a boat to try and hunt it down. I don't think that's reasonable.
5 beaches were closed. Most tried to spot the shark from the sand. Others weren't concerned.
The choppers are pretty far away, so I thought maybe the shark's pretty far away too.
Fremantle Beach was reopened half an hour ago. That's the last location the great white was spotted in. Kate Smithers, 7 News.
A 4-metre great white swims off Trigg as the government applies to extend its cull policy. Extend its catch and kill shark policy for another 3 years, but it will need federal government approval and an environmental assessment before it can go ahead.
This 4-metre shark was seen swimming just metres off Trigg Beach, having eluded the drum lines 1 kilometre off the coast. The shark was also spotted at Scarborough, City Beach and Floreat. Critics of the government's shark cull say it's evidence the policy is not working. But the government wants to extend the program for 3 years, having seen off multiple protests and a Supreme Court challenge.
It hasn't worked, and there's far more effective things that can be done to keep people safe.
The government wants to install 60 drum lines from Ocean Reef to Port Beach and parts of the southwest from mid-November to April each year. And if a bull, tiger or great white over 3 metres comes close to a target beach, another 12 lines would be available to catch the shark. But the policy will need federal government approval and a full environmental assessment under Commonwealth law. Opponents say the government hasn't considered alternative strategies.
It goes against the science, it goes against popular opinion, it goes against their own report they got done by the Bond University.
The government's plan will be open for public comment on the Environmental Protection Authority's website. Federal approval for the current program expires in 3 weeks. Emily Peace, ABC News.